everybody's doing well. Welcome to the channel of me 2F. I did make a video of this, but I ended up setting my mic up so I had two mics, so it makes it sound like there are two voices. So because of that, I had to make a new one, and this is gonna be the new one. But to keep things simple, what it is, we're gonna start doing like everything like almost like a fresh start. So if there's anyone who is new to the game or returning players, or because I know I can understand that sometimes everyone could take a break and, you know, either from like because the game could be stressful or in any way, or if anyone has like some interest, they play the game later. There's that. So we're gonna go ahead and let you know that for anyone who is new to the game, you will start out with a starter deck, and when you do, you get to choose which one. My recommendation is to start out with this Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Reason why is that you get some of the cards that you really need. The most important one is the 1-drop draws, a Self-Awakener, let's see, and of course a card like a 25k 10k combo, and a card that can play it for free. And as well as that, you do have this Vegeta and the 5-drop, so at least some important cards to have to start you out with this game. And of course the most important part is to get the 15k from an extra card. So you do need these cards. It will help you and figure out how to play the game. So like I said, you do have to start out with this starter deck and then work your way in getting the Freiza starter deck, which is why I combine the two together, to where you get some draws from that starter deck and draws from this one. So you get 8 draws, you got cards to put cards to rest, you got Zarbon to help you awaken as well as becoming a blocker, because in case if an opponent is going to attack the leader or attack in a battle card that you feel is important, you can use this effect to redirect the attack and attack to Zarbon instead. And then you got a Freiza, which is another important card to have. You take a life, choose a card that is 3 or less, put it to rest. It's a best starter card to start out with. This is why you had to get the Freiza deck, powered by 2 of the starter decks to get the play set. You get 4 for the Freiza and of course 4 for Zarbon, but it's a good way to start things out. And then as well as for the starter deck for Vegeta, when you have these like super rare cards in the starter deck, you get an additional 1 card. So that's why there are 3. So I mean, this is just, I have a playset, but I just want to show that you get 2 and then you got 1 additional, so you get 3 to start out with for the game. And then you got 3 from the Vegeta. You start out with 2, but you get an additional 1 when you're playing the digital version of this game. And of course, you got these 5-drop Freezas from the starter deck Freiza. Good to have. What it does is it's a double striker, and when you attack with it, you can choose one of the battle cards that is in rest, and it will mark it to where the card that got targeted by the Golden Frieza, it's not gonna go to active, or it's not gonna reset itself for the opponent's turn. So it's gonna be stuck. It's gonna be stuck in the rest, which the opponent will have to find a way to play a little bit harder to beat this deck. But yeah, so to make a quick recap, if there's anyone new to the game, beginners, take a look at the deck list. It's simple. It's something to look out for. These cards are easy to get. They're accessible. You can get it from 2 of the starter decks, and you can make it this way, and that's all you need to start playing the game. Of course, you get the free starter deck. That's gonna just be free, but when you buy another starter deck, it's gonna cost 400 gems. So keep that in mind. Use the gems sparingly. When you're in the beginning of the game, you're better off getting another starter deck to really help you catch up to the Series 6. But of course, other than that, if anyone likes what they're seeing, you know, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I do make more videos of these. If you want to watch like the past videos, I have all the videos from the past series. If you want to get the idea of how the game works, I will highly recommend for beginners to watch the past series so that they get to know what decks used to be the top tier and how the game evolved, how the game grow, so that you can get the idea of what cards are important for this game. Of course, right now I'm doing a very slow start because I don't have the funds to get a playset, but I'll get it this week. So that's another thing to look out for. So for Thursday, I'll start opening up more packs and then start making more decks and make more videos. You know, the fun stuff, and then we'll do some ranked battles and go from there. But yeah, other than that, this is like what I said. This is a starter deck. This is for anyone who's for beginner or someone who's returning. For the returning players that want to catch up a little bit, it's not a guaranteed deck to use when you're going into ranked battles, but it's very fun. It's a very fun deck to have when you're playing it in just free matches, or if you want to play, if for the beginners who want to play a little bit more, there is a solo mode. At least it will help you figure out how to play a little bit more, how to make the strategies, how to build up the strategies, and go from there. But yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and transition to the another video. Of course, with that video, there is a double mic voice, so please forgive me on that. Hopefully it doesn't hurt the video in a way to where the double voice is annoying. But if you watch later in the video, I did turn it off. I did realize it, so I didn't say anything about it because I want to keep the game going, because I have like a lot of instructions on how for beginners how they can play the game. So yeah, keep that in mind. Just brace for the devil voice. Please forgive me on it and go from there. But other than that, I hope that you enjoy watching. I probably will make another video for beginners and see where that goes. Other than that, I hope everyone's having a nice, good, awesome day. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next video. Okay, so this is how it starts out as. You get 6 cards in the beginning of the turn. You get to choose if you want to mulligan, or like put the deck cards back in the deck and redraw yourself 6 cards. But from the looks of it, everything looks kind of good. It should get you to where you need to start going for. So what I did is I charged an energy. So at the beginning of the turn, depending on which side you're on, like if you go first, you draw a card, you charge an energy. It's like when you're playing Magic or when you're playing like a game that requires you to tap mana or energy. It's whichever you would prefer in calling what the area is. So there is that to know. And then if you see on the top left, these are energy costs, and then there's some markers where it's a requirement of how much it costs to play a card. So it's specific color, and of course if you like for those who are returning or already know what the master game is, in the master game you get to play any kind of colors. So you can play any colors in one deck, but for this game, you can only play that specific color. So as you can see, this is all yellow. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. So this is like 1 energy. So we're gonna tap an energy to draw a card and go from there. Since I can't do anything on the first turn, we do have to end the turn from there and see what the opponent can do. But yeah, just keep in mind, it doesn't matter if I win or lose, at least you get to know how the game feels like. And of course, this is what they call like when they charge an energy and go from there. Forgot to mention that there is an extra energy marker, so depending on the turn, if the player goes second, they get an extra energy. So technically, he could play another card. He can even play a 2-drop, is what we call it. But yeah, he could play a 2-drop battle card. But since he wants to save the energy marker, which is pretty much recommended, high suggestion, because you don't want to like lose out on the energy. Because for this one, this is when you want to do something high risk. It just depends on the situation. But of course, when the player goes second, they get to attack, and I decided to take a hit because it's the beginning of the game. You need to see some cards, see how you can more or less figure out what you really need. So of course, we're going to start out another turn. We're going to charge an energy. We're going to go ahead and charge that one. Okay, so here is this. So I can, since this is the 2 cost, I get to play a 2 energy. So we got a Freiza. Now this is why it's important to know. Okay, so yeah, so this is important to know that you do have to like really know the effects of the cards, like this one. This is very important because you do need self-awakener cards to help you get closer to winning the game. So yeah, we do that, we do this, and then there we go. Now normally in this kind of situation, everyone will just go and attack the leader. But of course, you do have to think carefully if you want to attack the leader, awaken the leader quick, or just take out a battle card. I would just take out a battle card because you're preventing the opponent from having a card to combo with. So yeah, we do that. So there's nothing else for me to do. I do not want to attack with a 5k against a 15k. Because it's a waste of an attack, and they will just attack that on their turn. So it's a waste of attack, a waste of combo, and all that. Because, like I said, it's the beginning of the turn. You need to really know what cards you really have to play out there. That is fine. Alright, let's see. We're gonna start playing slowly. You're gonna have to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna use this Freiza to put this one on rest. And then, of course, what happened is that he allowed to destroy the card. They're both 20Ks, so the only way to... this is what they call, like, if he wants a combo, like, put this with a 5K, he can get 25, and that means that his card would be safe from taking the hit. So at least it's not like Yu-Gi-Oh where every card clashes. So that's something to know. If they have a matching power, then it will either side will either want a combo or just keep it the way it is, or on the defense side, keep the card or lose it. It's that kind of way. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do an attack. Now this is like what the downside is when you have all these 0 costs here. Now, in this kind of situation, if to start out the game, in a way, as you progress, I will highly recommend going for this Vegeta, this Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. If you didn't see the last video that I made, check that one out. That one could help you a little bit on how to start out the game with what's available for you. So I would just highly recommend going for that deck, for that leader, and start playing as slow as you can with that one. And of course he plays Janemba. Now this is a very good card to have, because he gets to untap an energy, he gets to rest a card, he gets to awaken. He's doing everything he can to really build the pressure. I mean, it is kind of fine, but it's going to be crazy because he has 2 energies open. And then he's gonna cancel that card. So now I really can't attack with it. Let's see. So we're gonna go ahead and build some pressure. So we're gonna go ahead and go for 20. I'm comboing for 20 so that he either... Yeah, okay, so that's what he's gonna do. We're gonna just go ahead and do this. Oh my gosh. Now that's how you start things out with the one drops. But of course, unfortunately, he has more. What was it? He has more of an advantage than I do, because he has a Janemba out there, and he has 5. He has 5 energies now. So the only thing I can only do is take some hits. Go do that. Now, to really be careful on how you play the game, it just depends if how the opponent wants to play. About how they want to play a battle card. They can either play light, which is pretty much of a good strategy, or you play a little heavy like that. Now Freiza, that one's a really strong card, because it could definitely pop, like, it could definitely destroy a card, but it's not destruction, it's just sending the card to the drop. Okay, so this is where, since the strategy is when everybody's at 4 lives, or depending on what leader has the effects, where you had to go less lives, this is where the combo is more important in the later game. So you do have to start doing that. Combo to do that. Okay, and this is where everyone just has to, like, play light, because you don't want to do anything reckless, especially going up like against another yellow deck. you're better off attacking with your battle cards first before attacking with the leader, because they might have because when he has energies open like that, he could have cards that will put my cards in rest. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, that's fine. Now this is where all the pressure is going. Okay, now we play heavy. So we got 5 draw. And now this is where the opponent will start getting pressured. Where he really needs to use super combos, which super combos, they'll be 10Ks, but during the opponent's turn there'll be an additional 10K, so you really want to be very careful on how you use it. Highly recommend using it when your lives is 4 or less. It will save your life. Now with this Freiza, it's really gonna be hard to deal with because you don't have you don't really have a lot of solutions to go against cards with barrier. They're very protective, so any effects that you try to use against it, you can't even pop it. And the only way to pop it is it has to be like that. It has to look like that. But at least the benefit of this is gonna force the opponent to start comboing like that, losing cards on hand. But since I'm playing a starter Freiza, I mean, this is why it's recommended for me. I mean, why I feel like it's recommended for beginners is so that when you end your turn, when you're going into a situation with that Freiza, because the Freiza will pay 2 energies to destroy a card that, or not destroy, but send a card that is like 5 cost or less from rest to drop. This is where the starter Freiza will help, because it will force the opponent to really have to use like a card to put one of them to rest. So it's gonna be like in that situation. And then he's gonna do it this way. Okay, so he set it to 40k. So this is why super combos are very important, because you get an additional 10 to protect yourself from. And then you combo. Okay. Now the next important thing on the list is to start putting as much energy as you can. Let's see. And then this is where we just have to pressure. Okay, he can do that. And then this is where you do have to do this. Bulma is going to be a threat, so better to take her down as fast as you can. And then there you go. See if the opponent will... Yep, super combo. And then we just rinse and repeat. Ooh. Okay, so what he did is that he's gonna prevent me from using Freiza because it affects us that if I play a 5-drop or more, it will be sent to rest. So we're gonna have to take the hit. And then do it that way. Okay, so we're gonna have to play very smart. So we're gonna have to do this because I don't want to just play the any 5-drops right now. So we're gonna go ahead and do it this way. We're gonna have to play smart because he might have a Janemba or the 2-drop Janemba where it puts a card to rest. So we have to do it that way. See, that's one of the Janembas, but it's gonna be the one where he gets he's restoring his energy. Now, this is based on curiosity if it works. Oh, it does. Wow. I could finish for game. See. He did waste a lot of super combos, so yeah, I could finish for game. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and do it this way. We're gonna finish the game just like this. $100K. that's how you do it. It's an interesting kind of situation where I was. But of course, we do have to play a little bit witty there. Alright. I hope that the match is kind of fun for anyone who is beginning to play or returning to play. I was actually kind of surprised how I managed to beat the opponent, especially with that 6-drop Freiza, because that actually changes the game strategy, which is the purpose of this game. You do have to play differently. You have to play a little bit smart on what you have available, and of course finding ways to go around other cards, especially that 4-drop Freiza. So yeah, at least there's something that you have to look out for. But I mean, yellow decks, they love to put opponents' cards to rest, or they like to pop themselves at times. But there are going to be other colors you have to be very careful about, and it's not always going to be yellow decks to go against. But yeah, like I said, I hope that you enjoy what you see. If this could be a good deck for you to start out with for those who are beginning to play, you know, feel welcome to play with the deck list I have right here. It's not perfect, it's not the best, but at least it will get you somewhere to playing this game. And of course, it's in a way, it's more budget friendly because you're only buying 2 starter decks, or getting a free starter deck and buying another starter deck in a way, but at least it gets you to where you can catch up to the game at some extent, at some part of the game. But yeah, with that being said, I hope that everybody enjoyed watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. If anybody wants a little bit more beginner videos, you know, don't forget to, you know, leave some likes and go from there. We'll see what we can do going forward. And of course, by Thursday, when I get all the cards, I'll start making more videos every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But at the meantime, we're gonna start everything slow this week, and then we're gonna probably do some matches, rank matches, know what kind of cards everybody's playing, and go from there. But yeah, see you on the next video.